My name is Cedric, and I am the founder of Cripjustice.
Hi, my name is Sanjay Smith, and I'm the founder of Cripjustice.
We support people with disabilities who are impacted by law enforcement.
We support people with disabilities who are impacted by law enforcement violence.
You can find more information about our work at cripjustice.org.
You can find more information about our work at cripjustice.org.
We also partner with a number of other organizations to provide legal aid and efforts and support.
We also partner with a number of organizations to provide legal and other forms of support.
The majority of people are aged about this violence after have a disability, and they do not often sensitive about.
The majority of people killed or injured by police violence have disabilities and yet often are not the center of organizing against police violence.
People with disabilities are vulnerable to police violence for a number of reasons.
People with disabilities are very vulnerable to police violence for a number of reasons.
Number one, police are generally trying to escalate instead of de-escalate, especially when people do not comply with their orders.
Police are generally trained to escalate instead of de-escalate, especially when people do not comply with their orders.
People with disabilities are often unable to comply with orders.
People with disabilities are often unable to comply with orders.
In Southern California, numerous people have been or become or killed because they couldn't hear police or couldn't because of psychiatric disabilities.
In Southern California, numerous people have been beaten or killed because they couldn't hear the police, or couldn't comply because of psychiatric disabilities, or couldn't understand because of intellectual disabilities.
You can find stories of these stolen lives on our website.
You can find stories of these stolen lives on our website.
Many people with disabilities because they are so frequently traumatized by law enforcement are often likely to be triggered by seeing people in uniform.
Number two, many people with disabilities, because they are so frequently traumatized by law enforcement, are often likely to be triggered by seeing people in uniform.
That's bringing law enforcement, even when the police are not aggressive, they can still escalate the situation.
Hence, bringing in law enforcement, even when the police officer is not aggressive, can still escalate the situation.
There is a tendency to see mental health or disability as exceptional or as a crisis that needs professional intervention.
Number 3, there's a tendency to see mental health or disability as exceptional or as a crisis that needs professional intervention.
Sometimes that may be true, oftentimes it is not.
Well, sometimes that is true, oftentimes it is not.
If people with disabilities are integrated into community and provided safety care and supporters with basic training, they can these situations can be prevented.
If people with disabilities are integrated into communities and provided safety planning and supporters are provided basic crisis training, then people in the community can often stop a crisis from even happening in the first place.
A person is actually more likely to be helped by people who know them or are familiar with this.
A person in crisis is more likely to be helped by people who know them and are familiar with their situation.
It should also be kept in mind that people with disabilities are subject to incarceration and liability besides disabilities.
And number 4, it should be kept in mind that people with disabilities are subject to incarceration in other ways besides jails and prisons.
After the alternative to calling 911 is to social workers.
Often the proposed alternative to calling 911 is to call social workers.
But social workers can also be equally punishing by forcibly hospitalized or medicated people with disabilities.
But social workers can be equally punishing by forcibly hospitalizing or medicating people with disabilities.
Thus, it is important to do more than just cut the police. That's all.
Thus, it is important to do more than call the police less often.
We have to create systems that respect the intent of people with disabilities.
We have to create systems of care that respect the autonomy of people with disabilities. And now I have to set up the PowerPoint for just a second.
Thank you. Yes, this is incredible.
Something people can do.
Some things people can do.
Number one, train themselves on basic crisis intervention.
Train themselves on basic crisis intervention.
Some other training program resources about this purpose.
Can you see the community-based responses? Is it showing?
Yes, I see a link. Yeah,
Okay.
do services. Yes.
But we can email this afterwards if that, or after that, if that's helpful. But these are some responses that include a model curriculum that any group can adapt. Also, mental health first aid is a resource. And then there's a mental health first group from the Anti-Police Terror Network.
That's very helpful. Thank you.
Number 10, create safety plans for people vulnerable to law enforcement.
Create safety plans for people vulnerable to life and law enforcement violence before a crisis occurs.
This can include creating advanced psychology directive so that if someone is involved in hospital, they can have more control over their treatment.
This can include creating advanced psychiatric directives so that if someone is involuntarily hospitalized, they can have more control over their treatment.
More information on how this can be done can be found through the PowerPoint.
So this is some resources before a crisis happens. Mad Career Strategies and Fireweed help people with safety planning. And there's a video that demonstrates how one can create a support team.
Support the defense campaign for people with disabilities who are currently incarcerated.
Support the defense campaigns for people with disabilities who are currently incarcerated.
You can find some needy support on our website.
You can find some people needing support on our Disabled and Punished tab of our website.
One thing to bring to everyone's attention is Derek Shaw.
One case to bring to everyone's attention is Derek Shaw in Riverside.
His mom tried to deny mother her support, and the rest was suicidal.
His mother tried to get him mental health support when he was suicidal.
But instead, the police arrested him and threatened him with life in jail.
Instead, the police arrested him and are threatening him with a life sentence.
You can sign the petition for his release on the website, and there will be a rally at his next court hearing on July 30th in India.
You can sign the petition for his release on our website, and there will be a rally at his next court hearing on July 30th in Indio.
If you know someone else currently incarcerated, you can send us the information that they can be added to our website to receive support.
So that's just more information about safety teams. But if you're interested in the Disabled and Punished campaigns, there's a tab here. And this is the link to free Derek Shaw, who needs support because the district attorney is being horrible and refusing to do anything to reduce his charges.
Number 4, develop solutions that embrace the autonomy of people with disabilities. Basic principles can be found at the PowerPoint. Thank you very much.
Number 4 and last, develop solutions that embrace the autonomy of people with disabilities. basic principles can be found here on the last website. So on this particular link, basic principles to think about when you're thinking of solutions. And also this is from the Cripjustice Stolen Lives Project. Thank you very much.